Thank you. So that was kind of a summary of what happened about 2, maybe 3 years ago when we set up the SHARE program for the first time. And since then, since our first trip to Africa, we've been back 2 more times. This summer we got back about a week ago. And so in that video you saw the first SHARE school that we had built and the one that we had renovated and put the books into. Now we have a total of 4 SHARE schools that we work with. 2 are primary schools, which are kind of like elementary level, and then 2 are secondary school, which is like a high school, middle school level. And so we have 4 schools, and the great thing is that the libraries are used not just for the girls in the program, but for everyone in the school to help the teachers. And the main goal of SHARE is just to empower the girls through education, and we hope that when we give them a chance to go to an after-school reading program that's just for the girls, not for the boys, they're gonna, use education to realize that, gender equality is, it exists and it is right, and hopefully it can empower them to also, share this knowledge with their families and their mothers and their whole community. So it might just seem like books, but the education and the message is about empowerment and lifting up the community. And so we have 4 schools. The 2 secondary schools are the ones that we focus a lot on right now. We have electricity, which was one of our recent goals that we brought to Kagemu, which is one of the secondary schools. We also have electricity at a primary school, and we set up solar panels this past summer at one of the primary schools. So our Light for Learning message that we were trying to do to raise money for electricity has really helped, and we're really excited about that. Right now, we have tons of books in the schools, and the next step forward that we want to take is school supplies and money for SHARE scholars, because a lot of girls, if they're not educated, they can't pass the tests and go into secondary school or university, so their life stops once they don't pass the test, and they usually get married, start a family too young, and they can never kind of go back to school. They can never start it again. So we want to try to start a program called SHARE Scholars, so that way, if you are bright, you should have the chances to be able to go to school if your knowledge can take you there. So that's the next big thing that we're looking forward to. And also opening new schools. We have another SHARE school in Zanzibar, which is an island off the coast of Tanzania. And we're opening different SHARE branches all around the world. There's one in Rome, and different people are trying to get involved all across the states. So that's something that we're also having fun with, because there's different areas that people can fundraise and raise awareness, so that way the message of empowering these girls can get out all over. So do you guys have any specific questions, or any questions at all?
Shannon, in Tanzania, when you were in the school, everybody speaks English?
Well, the teachers are there to speak English, but sometimes, to teach English to the students, but the teachers sometimes don't know English that well themselves, so they'll teach the students wrong things sometimes. So we're working on getting good teachers for the SHARE programs that can teach the girls English, that know it by heart, fluent at it. So the kids do know some English. It's said that English is one of the main languages in Tanzania, but most people there speak Swahili. So in the secondary schools, the high schools, a lot of the girls are, they can carry on conversations in English, but the primary schools, it's kind of just like any kid here in New Jersey that took a Spanish class, how much they would know. So it's not that much. They can tell you your name, but they can't, tell you what they want to do or what they need or stuff like that. So thankfully we know some people in Tanzania who can help us translate. Yeah.
And the books that you collect, they're in English?
Yeah, well, they are in English, and we collect kind of elementary level ones, just See Spot Run, here's a tree, so that way they can get the visuals. But we're also, just this summer, we brought down English to Swahili dictionaries, so that way they can just if they ever have a problem, they can just look it up. And we're trying to get money so that way we can buy books in Swahili to help them.
And what's must be expensive to send the books, you know.
Yeah.
there. So how do you
Just a lot of fundraising and donations from people because it costs a lot we ship the books down, and but they have to stay at the port in cities in Dar es Salaam, and sometimes they get held up there and it's corrupt, so it's kind of like a money waster. But so it definitely costs a lot to send them down there. But just there's a lot of people who understand that and are willing to donate and support us and are doing that.
Shannon, when is your next fundraiser?
Well, our next fundraiser probably in a couple months. Like, we haven't had an official fundraiser for a while, but usually whenever articles go out in the newspaper, people will send us donations or, you know, offer us some kind of support. So that's great. Usually whenever they hear about it through an article or something like that. Yeah.
Are you looking for volunteers to go and teach them how to speak English? Is that what you're looking for as well?
I mean, if any like new Swahilian would be all right with going to Africa, I mean, like, I mean, nobody has offered that yet. But I mean, if anyone likes the idea, that would be incredible. Yeah.
I don't know Swahili, but
I'm not understanding exactly how the program runs. You have the books there.
Yeah.
How does the after-school program run?
Okay, so we hire teachers. We try to get it to be only girl teachers, but sometimes that's not possible. They teach an after-school reading program. So after the school ends, the girls will stay just in the shared classroom, and then the teachers will teach them on the whiteboard and read books with them for a couple hours. And they do that about 5 or 6 times a week. They meet after school. So that's why it's the after-school reading program, and then they stay there for a couple hours so that way they can get more information, because sometimes at the schools what they're being taught isn't that, like the teachers like only do it because the government's paying them, so they might not show up or do that good of a job, but then they have the after-school reading program where they have all the books that they don't have at school, because at the schools they might just have like one textbook per classroom and it's falling apart. Like 5 kids sit to a desk, sorry. So it's really poor conditions, but then they get to go to the classroom that we renovate for them, and then after school for a couple hours they can all the girls only can get together and read and have the teacher teach them. So.
Do you get resistance from the community?
Yeah, there actually, a lot of people complain about how boys should be in it too, and they don't understand why the boys can't be in it, and we have to explain to them, like, you have a soccer team for the boys, but you don't have one for the girls, and yeah, it's been really a chauvinistic society for a really long time, so people don't really like want this idea. They want, sometimes the parents won't even let their girls into the program because they don't see like the long-term benefits, and they just want their girls at home cooking and cleaning, and they don't know like how far education can get them. So so we really have to try to teach them that, you know, this is good in the long run. And once they understand that, and some people are really grateful and take the opportunity, so it's kind of half and half.
Shannon, I'm curious, how did you get interested in Tanzania in the first place?
Oh, well, we had always kind of traveled. We used to live in New Zealand and Ireland, so we've been big travelers, and we used to do international volunteer work. We just kind of always wanted to go to Africa, and that was where we set it up. We just always wanted to go there. So.
Shannon, I know you're using books. What about technology? Do you have any?
Yeah, we have a couple laptops there.
Oh, okay.
That donated laptops, that way they can play games and stuff. We're thinking about like getting Kindles in there. So instead of books, you know, you can just go on a Kindle and they have all the books on there. But that would definitely be with more funds and a couple of steps into the future. But yeah, because it's kind of hard because, I mean, they have like one internet, maybe 2 internet cafes in the whole town for all these people, and they're very slow. So it's kind of like, I know that, you know, here in New Jersey we got taught technology because in college, like, we're going to have to use it all the time. But I'm not sure how often they use it, so how essential it would be to teach it to them. So it's kind of like, you know, once everyone upgrades, then we can start to teach it to them.
So you'll be looking for some software programs for reading?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Some computer games, because we have laptops for them.
Good.
What about audio?
Like
books on audio?
Oh yeah, we have a couple like Leapfrog books, but any of the, you mean like listening books.
Because a lot of times when somebody's learning a language, I remember people that came here to the US that were from Rotary actually, what they would do is they'd always keep either the radio on, even if they didn't know what they were saying,
Yeah.
or the TV, because they said that was a very good way to learn English. So I thought, a friend of mine owns a company called Audiobooks, and even though most people don't use that anymore, now they Kindle, but some people that can't read, do listen to audiobooks. But perhaps that might be a way for them to listen to the words over again. And
Yeah, I know they like the computer game, so that would definitely be a good idea if we could get all the tape cassettes for it and stuff.
But would it have to be like on a very lower level, like ABC? This is the bear, or could
Yeah,
it be
you
anything?
probably wouldn't be able to give them like the Harry Potter series or something. Probably just elementary books, but maybe for the secondary school people, they could have some like small chapter books, like Babysitter Club or Boxcar Children, maybe. But yeah, it would definitely be better to try to find some elementary level books for them. So.
Shannon, are you guys running this yourselves still, or do you have any people in place full time? Has this gotten big enough where you've gotten some employees to
Yeah,
be
well,
the middle people between?
we have a shared board of directors, and my parents are on it, as well as some friends that have decided to help out. Like our family friends with someone who is our public relations director. So that's really great, and she gets us a lot of publicity and knows different newspapers. So my mom is a big help with it, but we don't have anybody that we like employ. So it's usually just people who like to volunteer their time, and we're really thankful for that.
And you have very excellent contacts there, people who are very trustworthy.
Yeah, it's hard to find, who's trustworthy or not, but we've become kind of good at figuring it out. So this one person, Gabriel, he works for the UN, and he actually lives in the town that we work in, Bukoba. So we're really great friends with him, and he helps us figure out, who to trust, who not to, and if we're ever getting ripped off by a Tanzanian price or something. So that's definitely good to have.
Is there a local Rotary Club?
Probably not.
That's
but
not? Probably yes. And that's a contact that I think that you should explore. Because if you got affiliated with the local Rotary and you got things going, now that might just explode on you.
Yeah.
But one of Rotary's biggest areas of concern is Africa. And there are hundreds of millions of dollars that are literally sent from this country to Africa every year through the Rotary International. And they usually don't contribute. Like a club might contribute $20,000, and the local club might contribute $100. But the club is there and can be an excellent source of local contact.
Oh wow, yeah.
And literacy is one of their areas that they're dealing with.
That's great. We should look into that with you.
Good idea.
That'd be great.
Well, Shannon, thank you so much for your
Thank you.
presentation. It was great. We really a couple little certificates for you.
Oh my goodness, thank
This is
you.
courtesy of Anne. She's near and dear to the education. She's our director of everything.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
There's a little paperweight for you.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you again.
Wait,
Come on. Oh, you need pictures.